Hello everyone. Yes, it is not morning time. My husband took the day off, and so we enjoyed our morning, and he worked on the wood a little bit, and here in a little while we're going to go out and enjoy some dinner. But I wanted to take a moment and show you something that I got very special in the mail. Now, before I show you what it is, I got it on Amazon, but the reason why I've been wanting one is because my mother had one. And from what I understand, this particular item is still coveted. It was really desired back when she was first married and a young wife. It is the Women's Home Companion Cookbook. It's a pretty thick book, and this book was published through like 42 all the way into, I believe, the early 50s. Not really sure how long they did, and I couldn't find one that was probably from when my mother was given hers, because she was married in 47, so she probably had like either the 47 or the 49 or the 1950 copyright. This one happens to be the 1945, right at the end of the war. But I've wanted one of these for a very long time, and my mother's was very well used, so I'm just really excited. But anyways, I will talk to all of you in just a little while, because I have something that I want to dehydrate. Yesterday, when I was making that soup, I was going through my refrigerator, and I found 2 pounds of carrots. Plus, I have a bag of those little mini carrots, and I'm thinking, there is just no way that I'm going to be able to eat all these carrots before they spoil. So I decided that I'm going to take a pound and I'm going to dehydrate them. And you might be surprised, because actually, when you dehydrate carrots, this pound is not going to look like a pound of carrots. They really dehydrate tiny. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to peel my carrots. And while I'm peeling my carrots, I'm going to put a pot of water on, because according to the Ultimate Dehydrating book that I have, you should blanch your carrots before you dehydrate them. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I thought maybe you'd like to join me. So as you can see, I'm peeling my carrots, and this is the last one that needs peeled. I didn't figure you'd want to watch me peeling all these carrots, because that could be a little boring. So what I'm going to do is I am going to be cutting these up, but my pot is not big enough to stick these long carrots in. So I am going to be cutting them in half so that I can stick them in my pot to blanch them. And according to the directions, and I have done these before, I have never made a video on it, is we're going to stick them in the boiling water for just 5 minutes. Then we're going to immediately put them into cold ice water. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to fill up my sink with some cold ice water, and as soon as my water boils, we'll stick them in there. Now, I do not own a blancher, so I am just going to be putting my carrots in, and then I will just time them for their 5 minutes. That's all you do. But it did say do not do it more than 5 minutes. So I have my timer going, and I'll bring you back when they're done. So I'm just going to be dumping my carrots into my strainer here. And then from the strainer, I'm just going to put them into the cold water. And I'll let them sit in here for just a couple minutes, and I'll take them on over and I'll start slicing them up. So I'm just going to start slicing my carrots, and then I will just put them on these dehydrator trays. They are to be at 125 degrees for 10 to 12 hours. So I will chop these up and show you what that looks like when I'm all done. Our scripture verse for today's devotion is 1 John chapter 4, verse 19. We love because he first loved us. John speaks directly to the heart of love as he begins in verse 7 of that chapter. Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Loving is not an abstract, optional concept. It originates with God, and we pass along God's love in our relationships with others. Yet, living with one another gets messy, and people can be difficult. Many times, our family and our friends, our neighbors even, seem determined to test even our desire to love. But God did not command us to like one another. Jesus taught that the greatest commandment is to love the Lord your God, and that the second is to love your neighbor as yourself. There is only one person, Jesus, that lived out perfectly the demands of perfect love, and he was crucified. People are often difficult to love, and Christ is our example of patience and perseverance to love others. God's love gives us strength and the motivation to truly love others. So when you have those moments when you struggle loving someone who is less than lovable, realize that you've got the power to do it because God loved you first. God loved us, you and me. That knowledge gives us what we need to love others. And Spurgeon said this in his devotional about today's scripture. How great the wonder that such as we should ever have been brought to love Jesus at all. How marvelous that when we had rebelled against him, he should, by a display of such amazing love, seek to draw us back. No, never should we have had a grain of love towards God unless it had been shown in us by the sweet seed of his love to us. Love then has for its parent the love of God shed abroad in the heart, but after it is thus divinely born, it must be divinely nourished. Love is an exotic. It's not a plant which will flourish naturally in human soil. Love to Jesus is a flower of a delicate nature. It must be watered from above. As love comes from heaven, so it must feed on heavenly bread. It cannot exist in the wilderness unless it be fed by manna from on high. Love must feed on love. The very soul and life of our love to God is his love to us. And with that, I want to remind you, life happens. Let's enjoy it. And God bless. I will talk to you on Monday.